What's up, fam? Welcome to Ask the Mods.
where we challenge you to stop playing and start pushing.
This right here is my sensational wife, Fiona.
This right here is my conswappiest husband.
There you go again with that.
That's a made-up word for those who do not know from my family when I was younger, and it means you can't top conswappiest. So, I like to use it every now and then.
So go ahead, hit the question.
All right, y'all, we got a question in. Like to hit, go. I would like to thank you for how your advice helps me a lot. Well, you're very welcome. My name is Bloop, and I am in a long-term relationship that is mutually agreed upon and heading to marriage. No, I'm in a long-term relationship that is mutually agreed upon heading to marriage. From the beginning of the relationship, I've expressed clearly that I'm fine with masturbation, but my man does it to pornographic pics found online and from women sending them. I want to trust him with friendships with the opposite sex, but I feel that this way of masturbation is cheating and showing I'm not attractive enough. We have talked 3 times, and I have caught him lying and sneaking to communicate with the women and getting these pics after we agreed it was not right. He believes they are just pics and no harm in it. Please advise me on this matter. Thank you respectfully. Well, this is your area of expertise.
My area of expertise?
So I'm going to let you...
what do you mean my area of expertise?
You have a black belt in this area. So, I'm going to let you go ahead and weigh in on the masturbation mechanics. You know about all the ins and outs. The ups and downs. Sorry, y'all. I'm messing with him. He is expert though.
Oh my goodness. And let me just say this, that deception is deception is deception is deception.
Oh.
And I say that because you're in a long-term relationship and you all are supposed to be moving towards marriage. But if you're struggling, if you're having issues around this particular point, that sex is significant when it comes to relationships. But if he can't be honest and honor his word prior to marriage, then what makes you think that he's going to do it after marriage?
Right.
So, I mean, you all have made an agreement or commitment to, or he's made a commitment and an agreement to not be in relationship, whether it be virtually with these other women, through them sending pics and all of that type of stuff, but he's still doing it. He's going behind your back and doing it. You said you caught him in lies. So he's being deceitful. Now the issue here is I'm not sure whether or not you're wondering if you should ease up on your criteria.
Yeah, I think she is wondering. Because it's 2 things here. She said pornographic pics, some that I guess he just finds online, and then there's some that are sent to him from other women. And I think those are 2 distinct categories.
Yeah. If he's finding stuff online, I will say that just because he's looking at pornographic images, masturbating to videos,
that doesn't mean that he doesn't find her attractive.
It doesn't mean they didn't find you attractive.
How do you know that?
But it also
Were you speaking from experience?
It also doesn't mean that he'll be unfaithful because he's doing that. Because some women be writing us. And even in our session, some women have expressed that, because he's doing this, that means that he is unfaithful to me, or he's not going to be able to be faithful to me or committed to me because he's looking at porn, which is absolutely not true. Because he's looking at somebody else, or because he's looking at a video, or whether it be pictures or whatever, and he's getting stimulated by that, it doesn't mean he's going to step outside a relationship and try to pursue somebody else. It just does not mean that. He's getting aroused, and then sometimes he could possibly be looking at those images, those pictures, those videos, because he's it's helping him to get aroused when it comes to you. Not to say that you don't do it in and of itself, by yourself, but, again, it could be additional stimulation that could help him to produce better, maybe even for you. And so all of that, that right there, to me, it doesn't appear to be a threat. But when it comes to women sending him pictures specifically and directly,
before you move
that's
on
a
to
concern.
That. Yeah, that is a concern. But
that's a major concern.
I want to, before my husband moves on to that, I just want to kind of park here for a second. And I want for all of us women and men, really, who find ourselves in the category of being threatened by just masturbating, our spouse masturbating and looking at pictures or looking at porn, that kind of thing. I want you to pause for a moment and I want you to think about it. And I find that people typically fall in one of 2 categories. There's I'm going to say, because I'm a woman, I'm coming from the woman's perspective. There's the woman who is threatened by just the masturbation period, and you're doing something sexual and you're looking at pictures, and the woman is not her. And it might be a model, or it might be somebody from a magazine who you're never going to see in life, but it doesn't matter to her. It's like, you're cheating. It makes her feel bad.
You don't want me.
You don't want me.
I'm
that
not
kind
good
of thing.
enough.
And I just want you to really kind of pause. And if this is a brother, this is a man, whether your husband or what have you, or your long-term partner, whatever, who has been committed to you, who you have a relatively healthy and decent relationship with, and you give him a lot of drama, or vice versa, you give the woman a lot of drama. Although women don't tend to be as visual and do all of that stuff. I'm not saying we don't, because I do like the what do you call those porns that you tell me about, that you showed me a couple of?
Female friendly.
Yeah, I like the female friendly joints. They're not like right to the point, like but they show a little story. I'm friendly to those. But I'm not. Huh?
I'm ready to go. I'm like fast forward.
He's like fast forward, trying to get to the action. I'm like, no, let's watch the story.
Let's watch the build up.
Right, I want to see all of that. What?
Come on.
But what I want you to do, getting back to the point, is to really ask yourself, what's going on there? Is this really you projecting some of your own insecurity onto the person? Is it really some issues or some difficulties that you have with yourself in terms of your own body image, in terms of your own perception of your own attractiveness, in terms of how secure you feel in your relationship, that really is independent of the other person? It's just what you bring. It's your bags. It's your baggage. And if that's the case, just be clear about it. Don't make it the other person. Don't make them feel bad or do this whole guilt trip thing on them. Be honest with them about where you are. This is where I'm at, and this is kind of some issues that I'm having, and I need you to help me out, because they still can adjust. They still should adjust to help to support you in terms of where you are. But it's harder for people to do that when you come and you're blaming and that kind of thing, and it really is your own issue. But then on the other hand, there's also another category of women who are feeling like that because he a dog. He'd be doing some other stuff. And so you don't even focus on that hard. You focus on your masturbating and that kind of thing. When there's other stuff that you ain't talking about, that you are sensing, that you're perceiving, that you're not really addressing. And so you just need to be real and not, skirt around it, not put all this energy into that. You need to really focus on what the real issue is. Because masturbating to pictures is not necessarily an issue in and of itself. It will lift up for you and bring up for you if you're already insecure in the relationship because you're not sure if this man is out here stepping around. That's the issue. Focusing on that, because my man does. But I have no question about whether or not he's faithful to me at all. I don't have a problem with it. But if there was a question, now that aggravates that issue for me. So I just want people to be clear about that.
And
I know you want to talk about the other piece.
I also want to say too, now, some of you may find this difficult to believe, but you can watch a video, you can watch, or you can look at a picture and imagine your spouse being in the space of the woman that you're looking at. So it's not even about the person that you're looking at.
Sometimes it is, though.
But I'm trying to say that's a possibility. And so people might think that, you're exclusively thinking about the person, or maybe even thinking about somebody who's random while you're watching the flick or looking at the picture. But really and truthfully, I want you to know that there is a possibility that he could be thinking about you when he's looking at the other woman or when he's watching the video. That's a possibility. How do I know? Because I've done it. All right? Now, the bigger concern for me is that he's receiving pictures from women, and he's telling you he's not. I mean, he's telling you he's done with that. So he's being deceptive, and engaging these women. And I mean, that right there is not. It's not a good look. It's if you can't step into a relationship or exist in a relationship and be honest about where you are sexually, what your interests are, what your desires are. Then again, if you all are moving towards marriage, how do you expect him to be honest after you all get married?
Right.
He's setting the criteria and the stage right now for deception in a relationship. So, I mean, that's a major red flag that you all need to address. And
that's more major, in my humble opinion, than the porn necessarily in and of itself, the pictures in and of themselves, the fact that he's not being honest. And you speak to that. You say, how am I supposed to trust him? That is a good question. That's a question for him. And at this point, I would say he is not trustworthy. And I would say you need to slow your roll. And there should not be a clear pointed direction towards marriage. You shouldn't be declaring that at this point when something for real as basic as this is an issue. Because for real, you should be able to be 100% honest about, okay, I won't do that then. You know what I'm saying? And when you have other women involved sending you stuff, that adds another element. That ain't just a picture. That ain't just a little movie you watching. That's a real person behind that. And when you are engaging in lustful kinds of behavior, when someone has sent you something with who has a pulse, Oh, now we're taking it to another level. So I'm glad that you've
The
written
people in
in.
the pictures got a pulse too.
I'm saying,
The
but
people
they.
in the videos got a pulse
But
too.
those are videos. They're not. They, you know what I'm saying? They could be cartoons, so we can't. Like you're not connected to them people. You know what I'm saying? So that's a problem. Slow your roll, sis. Pay attention to your gut. Stop playing and start pushing.